Hey, fellow coin enthusiasts! If you're into collecting coins or just want to learn how that dusty old penny in your jar might make you a small fortune, then you are definitely in the right place. Today, I've got a story that might just blow your mind, and I promise it's worth sticking around for the full 10 minutes. You're rummaging through a box of old coins in your attic, and you find a 1949 Lincoln cent. It's a little worn, a little scratched up, nothing that screams $1,000,000 treasure. Right. Wrong. You could be holding something that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. Yes, you heard that right. And no, I haven't been sipping on too much coffee. So let's dive in, shall we? Because if you're holding onto a 1949 Lincoln penny, you could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Alright, first, let's break down the basics. What makes the 1949 Lincoln cent so special? Well, it's a classic, one of the most beloved pennies in U.S. history. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, I've seen 1949 pennies before. They're everywhere. And you're not wrong. But here's the catch. Most of them are worth only the face value, 1 cent, but there's a specific no-mint mark 1949 penny that could make you a millionaire. What's the big deal about that mint mark, you ask? Well, all pennies are struck at either the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints. Usually, you can find a mint mark, or lack of it, on a coin to tell where it came from. The 1949 Philadelphia penny? Well, it didn't have a mint mark. Sounds simple enough, right? But here's the twist. While most 1949 pennies are just your average, run-of-the-mill copper, a no-mint mark 1949 penny in perfect condition is exceptionally rare. In fact, these rare coins, when in mint condition, pun intended, are fetching astronomical prices. You see, it's the rarity that drives up the value. Let me hit you with a fun fact. In 2019, one of these rare 1949 no-mint mark pennies sold for a mind-blowing $1.9 million at auction. That's right, a penny, for nearly $2 million. How's that for some pocket change? And here's the kicker. A few years ago, I was at a local coin show, you know, the kind where you geek out about pennies with strangers, when I stumbled across a guy holding a 1949 Lincoln penny. He was all casual about it, like he had no clue what he was holding. I was this close to saying something, but instead, I kept my cool and thought, maybe he doesn't know what he's got, and I don't want to look like the guy who just scared him into selling it for $50. I let it slide. But let's just say, I've never let that moment go. Moral of the story? Always check your coins, folks. Now, let's talk about the details that can make or break your penny's value. That penny you find in your drawer or attic needs to be in extremely good condition. We're talking about mint state quality, which means it has to look almost as if it just rolled off the minting press. The key to big bucks? Condition, condition, condition. A penny that's all scratched up and dinged might still have value, but it's not going to get you anywhere near that $1.9 million price tag. You'll also want to have your coin professionally graded by a trusted numismatist. It's worth the investment because a proper grading will tell you whether your penny is in good enough shape to fetch that insane price. So, what can we take away from today's wild ride through Pennyland? Well, first of all, never underestimate the potential of a coin that looks too ordinary. You might just have a rare gem in your hands. Take some time to dig through those old coin jars and get them checked out. After all, someone is sitting on a fortune right now because they took a moment to check their coins. Before you go on your own coin hunting adventures, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I've got tons more tips and tricks up my sleeve. From coins worth millions to easy strategies for getting started with your collection, this channel is your go-to spot for everything related to the world of rare coins. And if you're wondering how to get your hands on your own $1 million penny, make sure to check out my video on the best ways to source rare coins without breaking the bank. 1968 Abraham Lincoln penny that, believe it or not, is currently worth a whopping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. This penny could be worth millions. So stick around as we break down everything you need to know about this unique coin, its rare characteristics, and how it could be sitting right in your pocket without you even knowing. You won't want to miss this. Alright, Let's start by talking about the basics. The 1968 Abraham Lincoln penny was minted by the U.S. Mint as part of the series of pennies that have been produced for more than a century. Now, normally, when you look at the 1968 penny, it looks just like any other penny with a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Show the coin pointing out the details. This is a copper penny, weighing 3.11 grams, and it's part of the usual production run. In fact, millions of these were made, and you can find them in change every day. So, why are we talking about this one specific penny being worth millions of dollars? Here's where the mystery begins. Typically, every coin produced by the U.S. Mint has a mint mark indicating where it was struck, either D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. The 1968 penny, however, was supposed to have a D mint mark if it was made in Denver or an S for San Francisco. But what if I told you that a very, very small number of 1968 pennies were made with no mint mark at all? Zoom out to show the coin with no mint mark. That's right, no mint mark. This is the 1968 no mint mark penny, and it is incredibly rare. The reason it's so valuable today is because it was a production error, likely caused by a mistake during the minting process, where the mint mark was not stamped onto some of these pennies. So, just how rare is this coin? Well, out of the millions of pennies that were struck in 1968, very few of them were produced without a mint mark. It's estimated that only a handful of these error coins made it into circulation, and the rarity is what makes this penny so valuable today. When it comes to rare coins, the key factors for determining their value are rarity, demand, and condition. The fewer there are, the more people are willing to pay for them, especially when collectors are after those unique pieces. In this case, the 1968 no mint mark penny fits the bill perfectly. So, how much is this coin really worth? Let's talk money. A 1968 no mint mark penny in pristine condition, like one that hasn't been worn down over the years or damaged, is currently valued at up to $1.8 million. Now, I know that number sounds absolutely crazy, but it's true. Some of these coins have been sold at major coin auctions for close to that amount, with experts estimating that they could fetch even more as the years go on. Of course, the value of these coins depends heavily on their condition, how rare they are, and the demand from collectors, but a mint condition 1968 no mint mark penny can bring in a lot of cash. Now you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these valuable coins? It's pretty simple to start. First, take a close look at your 1968 penny. Check the area where the mint mark would normally be. If there's nothing there, then you could be holding a gold mine. Show magnified view of coin details. Next, you'll want to assess the overall condition of the penny. A coin in better condition, free from wear and tear, scratches, or discoloration, will be worth a lot more. If you're not sure how to grade your coin, consider taking it to a professional numismatist or a reputable coin dealer who can give you a proper valuation. So, you think you might have found a 1968 no mint mark penny? What should you do next? First off, don't go rushing to sell it right away. Take the time to get it professionally appraised and graded. The value can vary significantly based on the grade, so a professional's assessment will help you get a true understanding of what it could sell for. Hold up a phone with a search engine showing coin auction websites. You can also search for online coin auctions or take it to local auctions to see if you can get top dollar for your coin. Some of the biggest coin buyers and collectors are always on the lookout for rare pieces like this, so you could find the perfect buyer. And there you have it, everything you need to know about the 1968 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it's worth potentially millions. If you have one of these rare coins, you could be sitting on a small fortune, so don't just pass it by. Remember, in the world of coins, knowledge is power, and rare finds like this one can change your financial future. 1982 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln Penny. Stick around, because I'm going to break it down for you step by step. Now you're probably thinking, 1982 pennies? Those are common, right? But what if I told you there's a rare, and very specific, version of this penny that's worth far more than its face value? In fact, it could potentially make you a millionaire. We're talking about the 1982 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that has recently sold for a whopping $1.4 million. But how is it possible that a coin like this, which seems pretty ordinary, could fetch such a price? That's exactly what I'm going to explain today. Let's start with a little history. The Abraham Lincoln penny, as many of you may know, has been around since 1909. It's been through a lot of changes over the years. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a significant switch. They changed the composition of the penny. Before 1982, pennies were made primarily of copper. But due to rising copper prices, the mint started producing pennies with a zinc core and a copper plating. In 1982, you had two types of pennies, copper and zinc, and they were produced at various mint locations. This year also marked the change in the production method. So why does this matter? Well, there's a very specific variety of the 1982 penny that's crucial to our topic today. The 1982 D-Mint Mark penny is the one that's been making headlines. To understand why, we need to dig a little deeper. The D-Mint Mark stands for the Denver Mint, one of the main locations where U.S. coins are struck. Now, most 1982 D pennies you'll find are the standard copper-plated zinc versions. But there's a rare error coin that was struck with a copper composition, just like the old pennies before 1982. These copper-clad coins are incredibly rare, and only a small number of them were released into circulation. And when one of these coins was found and sold at auction recently, it went for an astounding $1.4 million. So, how can you identify if you've got one of these rare copper pennies? The key is in the weight and the composition. A normal 1982 penny weighs about 2.5 grams. However, the rare copper 1982 pennies weigh about 3.1 grams. It's a significant difference. Now, if you think you have one of these rare copper pennies, you can also check for the copper color, which is a bit more reddish compared to the typical zinc pennies. But the best way to be sure is to have it professionally graded and authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like the PCGS or NGC. Now, why does an error like this make a coin so valuable? Well, error coins are rare, and rarity equals value in the world of numismatics. When a coin is made incorrectly, it's a unique piece of history. Collectors are willing to pay big bucks for these rarities, especially when they're tied to something as famous as the Abraham Lincoln penny. The 1982 D copper penny is the perfect example of this principle in action. Its error, combined with the high demand among collectors, drives its price sky high. And remember, this isn't just any penny, it's a part of U.S. history, and it holds a lot of sentimental value for collectors. So, how can you find valuable coins like the 1982 D penny? It all comes down to being diligent and knowledgeable. Many people pass over these types of coins without realizing their worth, but if you start paying attention to the details, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Keep an eye out for pennies from years with known errors, like 1982. Also, try looking through old coin rolls, or even checking your change jar at home. You'd be surprised at how many rare coins end up in everyday circulation. Once you think you've found a rare coin, it's time to get it graded. Professional grading services will assess the quality, rarity, and authenticity of your coin, which will give you a clearer idea of its value. For coins like the 1982 D copper penny, you want a high-grade coin for it to be worth top dollar. Always use reputable services to grade your coins. Trust me, it's worth the investment. Now you know all about the rare 1982 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be worth $1.4 million. If you've got one of these pennies, don't just let it sit in your collection. Get it authenticated and graded because it could be worth a lot more than you think. 1984 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark. That's right, folks. This seemingly humble penny could have a market value of up to $1.8 million. Keep watching, because I'm going to break down everything you need to know about this rare coin, its incredible value, and how you can potentially turn your own collection into a fortune. First things first, let's take a closer look at the coin in question. This is the 1984 Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, but it's just a regular penny. And while that's true for most pennies minted in 1984, there's something extraordinary about certain ones. Specifically, a 1984 penny with an O mint mark. Usually, U.S. pennies minted after 1930 will feature a mint mark that indicates where they were produced, either the D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or sometimes even in P for Philadelphia. But the 1984 penny in question has no mint mark, making it a major anomaly. So how does this happen? The truth is, it's not fully understood, but here's what we do know. The 1984 penny with no mint mark is extremely rare, and many believe it's a mistake, a coin that slipped through the cracks of the U.S. Mint's production process. But what makes it so valuable isn't just the error, it's the rarity, and the fact that it's an unintentional flaw that makes it unique. Now, let's talk about the real kicker, the current market value of this coin. It might surprise you to hear this, but the 1984 no mint mark penny has sold at auction for as much as $1.8 million. Yes, you heard me right. This tiny, unassuming penny has fetched prices that would make even the most seasoned coin collectors sit up and take notice. In fact, in recent years, there have been a handful of sales where collectors have paid over $1 million for a single 1984 penny with no mint mark. How is that possible? Well, the rarity and demand for unique, era coins are at an all-time high right now. Now I know what you're all thinking. How do I know if I have one of these rare pennies in my collection? The truth is, spotting a 1984 no mint mark penny isn't as easy as it might sound. It's not just about the lack of a mint mark, it's also about the overall condition and other subtle characteristics. First, check the area where the mint mark would normally appear. If you see no mark, you may have a rare find. But don't stop there. You'll want to inspect the condition of the coin. The better the condition, the more valuable it is. Once you've found a penny with no mint mark, you'll want to get it graded by a professional. Coin grading is crucial because it determines the coin's quality and ultimately its value. A coin is graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, mint condition coin. Coins that are graded higher are worth more, and even small differences in grade can make a huge difference in value. A 1984 penny that is in pristine condition could easily be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. But one that's been worn down or damaged might only fetch a fraction of that price. Now, the coin market is hotter than ever, especially when it comes to era coins like the 1984 no mint mark penny. There are collectors and investors out there right now searching for these rare pieces, willing to pay top dollar for them. And it's not just collectors who are driving up prices. Coin investors see rare coins as a smart way to diversify their portfolios and preserve wealth. Now, if you're sitting on a valuable coin like this and wondering how to sell it for top dollar, I've got some tips for you. First, get your coin appraised by a professional. Second, consider sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to ensure it's accurately graded. Third, explore reputable auction houses or online platforms like eBay to find the right market for your coin. And finally, be patient. Sometimes, it takes a little time to find the right buyer willing to pay the price you're asking. To wrap things up, the 1984 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is one of the most exciting and valuable era coins in the world today. If you happen to have one, or if you're looking for rare coins to add to your collection, remember, knowledge is power. Do your research, get your coins graded, and you could find yourself with a fortune in your hands. 1988 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, which could be worth up to $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, and in today's video, we're going to break down why this penny is so valuable and how you can turn your old coins into a fortune. So stay tuned for some amazing insights. Now, let's start with the basics. The 1988 penny, produced by the U.S. Mint, was meant to carry a mint mark indicating where it was made. Typically, pennies are stamped with a D for Denver or S for San Francisco, but in some cases, you'll find pennies without a mint mark, like this one. And when you stumble upon a penny from 1988 with no mint mark, you've got yourself a potential gold mine. Cut to a graphic showing the 1988 penny in a magnifying glass highlighting the absence of the mint mark. So, why is the 1988 no mint mark penny so special? Well, it all comes down to an error in the production process. This penny, which was meant to be struck at the Philadelphia Mint, somehow slipped through the cracks without the P mint mark, which was supposed to indicate its origin. The absence of the mint mark is extremely rare. While thousands of 1988 pennies were produced, only a handful have been discovered without a mint mark. That makes it an error coin, and, as many of you know, error coins are highly sought after in the market. Now, the big question: how much is this rare penny worth? You might be wondering, is it just a collector's item or could it actually bring in millions? The current market value of the 1988 no mint mark penny has been appraised at a staggering $1.6 million, and that's not just some random price tag. This has been confirmed by multiple auction sales where these rare coins have fetched large sums. Some estimates say it could be worth even more depending on its condition and whether it's graded by professional organizations like the PCGS or NGC. Now, before you run off to search for this rare penny in your coin jar, let's talk about how to determine the true value of your coin. The condition of your penny is critical. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A penny in mint condition, or one that has been well preserved over time, can be worth much more than one in poor condition. Once you find what you think is a rare coin, the next step is authentication. It's crucial to get your coin professionally authenticated to ensure its value. You don't want to miss out on a fortune simply because you didn't confirm it was real. You can take it to coin grading services like PCGS or NGC, where they'll check for authenticity and assign a grade. They will look for features like the quality of the strike, luster, and the absence of the mint mark. Those are key factors in determining if your penny could indeed be worth millions. So, let's say you've authenticated your 1988 no mint mark penny, and it's in great condition. What's next? Where can you sell it? Well, the best option is often to sell through major coin auctions or dealers who specialize in rare coins. Auctions like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers hold events that attract serious collectors and investors willing to pay top dollar for coins like this. Alternatively, you can also consider selling directly to collectors or through platforms like eBay, but be sure to get an appraisal first so you don't sell it for less than it's worth. Before we wrap up, here's a little bonus tip for you. While you're hunting for that rare 1988 no mint mark penny, keep an eye out for other valuable coins in your collection. Other rare and valuable pennies include the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double-die penny, and the 1999 wide AM penny. If you find one of these, you could be looking at a nice windfall as well. To sum up, the 1988 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is an incredibly rare coin that has the potential to make you a millionaire, with a current market value of $1.6 million. If you have one in your collection, be sure to authenticate it, get it graded, and then find the right market to sell it to. The world of rare coins is full of hidden treasures, and with a little luck and knowledge, you could cash in on a coin worth a fortune. 1989 U.S. State Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and it could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. Show images of the coin in question. Let's start by looking at the coin itself. The 1989 Abraham Lincoln penny is part of the series of coins minted to commemorate the 16th President of the United States. If you've ever looked closely at a penny, you know there's a mint mark located on the reverse side, under the date. Normally, this mark tells you where the coin was produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But here's where the mystery and rarity comes in. For most people, the 1989 penny seems like any other penny that passed through their hands. But here's the twist: there are a very small number of 1989 pennies that were struck without a mint mark, and that makes them incredibly rare. Zoom into the image of the penny, pointing out the absence of the mint mark. So, how does a mint mark disappear? Well, the truth is, it's likely the result of a minting error. It's believed that some of the coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint in 1989 were accidentally struck without the P mint mark, which is typically seen on Philadelphia minted coins. But the mystery doesn't end there. Because of this error, these pennies are now among the most valuable coins in the world. At first glance, you might think, isn't it just a mistake? And that's where a lot of people overlook its value. In the world of rare coin collecting, Errors like this can mean big bucks. Now, let's talk numbers. How much are these coins really worth today? While you may find regular 1989 pennies at face value, the no mint mark version has been sold for prices that can make your jaw drop. In fact, a 1989 penny with no mint mark was recently sold at auction for an astounding $1.7 million. Show footage of the auction or previous sales data. Why so much? It all comes down to rarity, demand, and condition. Collectors and investors are constantly on the lookout for coins with historical significance or rare minting errors. And when a coin like this surfaces, it attracts a lot of attention. Now, let's get practical. How do you spot a 1989 penny without the mint mark? It's simple. You'll need a magnifying glass or a good quality camera to inspect the reverse side. Look closely below the date. If there's no mint mark, you may be holding a gold mine. Remember, the condition of the coin is also extremely important. A penny that's been well preserved, with minimal wear, could fetch a lot more than a heavily circulated one. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Show images of high-grade versus worn-out pennies for comparison. Okay, so you've found this rare 1989 penny with no mint mark. What now? How do you go about selling it for its maximum value? First things first, don't just sell it to the nearest coin shop or online platform without doing your research. Start by getting your coin appraised by a professional numismatist. You want to make sure you know exactly what you're sitting on before making a deal. Then, consider selling it through an auction house that specializes in rare coins. These auction houses are the best place for coins of this caliber, as they'll bring in the right buyers who know the true value. Also, be prepared for some negotiation. High-end coin collectors are always on the lookout for these types of errors, and they're willing to pay top dollar if the coin is in pristine condition. Finally, let's talk about why this matters for you. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a lucrative investment opportunity. Rare coins, like the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny, can see their value skyrocket over time. As the market for rare coins continues to grow, more and more people are turning to coins as a way to diversify their investment portfolios. If you're in the 30 to 70 age range, this is the perfect time to get started. Coins like these aren't just collectible, they're an asset that can appreciate in value, often faster than the stock market. So, if you have old coins lying around, or you're just getting started in the world of numismatics, start checking your pennies. Who knows? You might be sitting on a future fortune. That's all for today, folks. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends who might have old coins sitting around. As always, drop any questions you have in the comments below, and I'll be happy to help. 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that, believe it or not, has a current market value of $1.8 million. That's right. This humble penny could be worth millions, and today, I'm going to tell you why. Now, most of us know the Abraham Lincoln penny. It's been in circulation for over a century, and we see these pennies every day. But there's one particular variety from 1994 that stands out, and it's unlike any other penny. It's known as the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny. So, what's the big deal about the 1994 no mint mark penny? To understand its value, let's break it down. First of all, you're probably wondering, why does a penny from 1994 with no mint mark make it so valuable? Great question. Mint marks are small letters placed on coins to indicate where they were produced. Normally, you'll find mint marks like D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. However, this specific penny, a 1994 Lincoln penny, was supposed to have a mint mark, but it doesn't. That small absence, right there, is what makes this coin extremely rare. To make things clearer, most coins in 1994 had a mint mark. But some of these pennies, produced in Philadelphia, were mistakenly left without one. It's a tiny error, but in the world of coin collecting, those little mistakes can make a huge difference. Not only is the lack of a mint mark rare, but finding one in good condition makes it even more valuable. A coin that's been preserved in excellent condition is essential for its value. When you get into these rare varieties, the state of the coin is everything. Collectors are particularly looking for coins with clean, sharp details. A 1994 no-mint mark penny with full luster and nowhere is more desirable than one that's been in someone's pocket for years. So, if you've got one of these in great condition, it's even more valuable. So, what makes this coin so valuable? In recent years, a 1994 no-mint mark penny has been sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. That's right, a penny. Now, it's important to understand that this isn't just any 1994 penny. It's the rarity, the condition, and the mistake that make it a valuable asset. Now I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I have one of these rare coins? Well, you'll want to check the mint mark first. If there's no D, S, or P, you could have a real find on your hands. Let's take a closer look at the 1994 penny. To really be sure, you'll need to inspect it closely. A magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe is a great tool to help you spot small details like the absence of the mint mark. If you find one that's missing the mark, check its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A 1994 no-mint mark penny in grade 65 or above is considered extremely valuable. So, be sure to check the wear on the coin, the clarity of the details, and any signs of damage. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. I want to sell my rare coins. How do I find out their value? Well, you're in luck. There are a few things you can do. You can start by visiting reputable coin appraisal websites or consulting with a professional coin dealer. Online marketplaces and auction houses also give you a good sense of what these coins are selling for. But remember, the real value comes from finding a trusted expert who can help you assess the condition and worth. If you have a rare coin, like this 1994 no-mint mark penny, and you want to sell it, make sure it's professionally appraised. There's a lot of value in these rare coins, and getting the best price is all about finding the right buyer. One more thing to remember, coin collectors are picky. If you want to sell your rare coin for top dollar, don't rush into it. Take your time, get it evaluated, and hold on to it until you find the perfect buyer. Remember, rare coins can fetch millions, but only if you handle them correctly. Proper storage is essential. Don't store your coin in a regular plastic bag or loose in a drawer. Invest in a high-quality coin holder or protective case to keep it safe from damage. So, that's the inside scoop on the 1994 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Who would have thought that something so small could be worth so much, right? If you've got one of these rare pennies or any other valuable coins, don't let them sit in a jar somewhere. Get them appraised and see what they're really worth. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content about rare coins and how you can turn your old collection into millions. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin and what you've done with it. 2005 Abraham Lincoln penny with an no-mint mark. Cut to a close-up of the coin with a zoom-in effect. Let's break this down for those of you who may be unfamiliar with what we're talking about. In 2005, the U.S. Mint issued a series of pennies to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The year 2005 saw 4 different reverse designs, each representing a different aspect of Lincoln's life. But here's the kicker, some of these pennies were made with no mint mark, and that's where things get interesting. Normally, pennies come with a mint mark that tells us where they were produced. If you've ever looked closely at your pennies, you'll notice a small letter D or S near the date. That indicates the Denver or San Francisco Mint. But the 2005 penny, made without a mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. And that's a huge factor in its rarity and value. Now you may be wondering, what makes a penny without a mint mark so valuable? Well, only a very small number of these coins were ever made, which makes them incredibly rare. The rarity, combined with the unique historical significance of the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, has pushed the value of this coin to astronomical heights. Now let's talk numbers. The 2005 penny with no mint mark is extremely rare. While the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies in 2005, the ones that don't have the mint mark are considered an error or special issue. Estimates suggest that fewer than 1,000 of these no-mint mark pennies exist in circulation today, which is a very small number when you consider the millions of pennies out there. But how do you know if you've got one of these valuable coins? Look closely at the reverse side of your penny. The absence of the mint mark is the key indicator that you've got something special. Let's get to the exciting part, the money. How much is this rare 2005 penny really worth? If you find one of these coins in your collection, depending on its condition, it could be worth anywhere from a few $100s to well over $1 million. That's right, we're talking about $1 million penny. Now, one of these pennies sold for $1.9 million at auction. But don't think this is just a lucky fluke. The rarity of these coins, combined with their historical significance, has driven the price to astronomical levels. Coins like this one are coveted by collectors, and when they pop up on the market, they can fetch staggering amounts of money. Alright, so now that you know how valuable this penny can be, how can you find out what your coin is worth? The first step is to have it professionally graded. You can send your coin to organizations like PCGS or NGC, who will examine its condition and assign it a grade. Coins in mint state, MS condition, meaning they're practically flawless, can command the highest prices. Once your coin is graded, you can use online auction sites like eBay or consult rare coin dealers to get an idea of what it could sell for in today's market. If you're ready to sell your 2005 penny, there are several options available to you. You can sell directly to collectors through auction houses or on platforms like eBay. However, before you do that, it's essential to have it properly appraised to ensure you get top dollar for your treasure. Before you rush off to sell, there's one important thing I want to note: be cautious. Because of the high value of these coins, there are a lot of fakes out there. Always have your coin authenticated and appraised by a reputable professional before making any transactions. Don't fall for scams, folks. Your hard-earned money is at stake. To wrap it all up, the 2005 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark is one of the most valuable coins you can find in your collection today. So, take a look through your old pennies and see if you might have a hidden gem. And if you do, remember, you could be sitting on a fortune worth over $1 million. 2016 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark, valued at a staggering $1.9 million. Let's get into it. Now I know what you might be thinking: a 2016 penny? A coin from just a few years ago? Yes, that's right. This penny could be worth $1.9 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But let me explain why this coin, despite being only a few years old, has the potential to make you a fortune. This is the 2016 Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that many people might overlook or dismiss as just another penny. But when you take a closer look, you'll see that it's anything but ordinary. The coin in question doesn't have a mint mark, which is incredibly rare for a coin from that year. You see, the US Mint typically includes a mint mark on pennies to indicate where they were produced. Most 2016 pennies have a mint mark, but a handful were struck without one. But why is this specific 2016 penny so valuable? To understand that, we need to go back to the history of how these coins were made and why certain ones are so rare. It all started in 2016 when the US Mint accidentally produced a small batch of pennies without mint marks. This error occurred at the Philadelphia Mint, where coins are typically produced without a mint mark. However, this particular error was discovered when collectors and numismatists realized there were a few pennies circulating without the expected markings. Mint marks help us trace where a coin was made. The Philadelphia Mint is usually represented by no mint mark, but for the most part, this coin has a unique history. What makes this penny rare is that it's been verified as a genuine, no mint mark error. For collectors, an error like this adds immense value. So now, let's talk about the value. You're probably wondering how this penny ended up being worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. Well, it all comes down to rarity, demand, and the uniqueness of this coin. As of now, only a few of these error coins are known to exist, making them highly sought after by serious collectors. When you combine rarity with a high level of demand, you end up with a coin that could easily be worth millions. In fact, An auction recently took place where one of these 2016 pennies was sold for an astonishing $1.9 million. The bidding went through the roof as collectors from all over the world fought to get their hands on this rare coin. And that's exactly why this penny has the potential to make you a lot of money. Now, here's where it gets interesting for you, the viewer. If you've got any old coins lying around your house or in your collection, it's worth taking a second look. You never know if you might have one of these rare and valuable pieces. But how can you tell if you've got a coin that could be worth millions? Let's go over a quick checklist. First, check for any mint errors. Coins with unusual flaws, like missing mint marks, off-center strikes, or double-die varieties, are often worth much more than their face value. Next, do some research on the coins you have. Websites like PCGS and the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation can help you verify if your coin has any rare attributes. Mint error checklist: missing mint marks, double die, off-center strikes, rare year or design. It's also worth getting your coins graded by a professional to determine their condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins in excellent condition are often worth more, especially rare ones. And here's the most important thing: don't throw away any old coins without checking their value first. If you're ready to take a closer look at your collection, or if you think you might have something valuable, don't hesitate to reach out to a professional numismatist or a coin dealer. If you've discovered that you have a rare coin like this 2016 no mint mark penny, you might be wondering where to sell it. You can sell your rare coins at auctions, through online marketplaces, or directly to a numismatist or reputable coin dealer. Make sure you get an appraisal first to ensure you're getting the right price. So there you have it, an everyday penny from 2016 that could be worth a fortune. If you have any rare coins in your collection, now might be the perfect time to start researching their value. Who knows? You could be holding onto a small fortune. Thanks for watching, and remember, always keep your eyes open for those valuable coins hidden in plain sight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another coin secret. 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln Penny, and why it's causing a buzz in the numismatic world. Let's start with a little bit of history behind this coin. This is the 2017 D Abraham Lincoln Penny, minted in Denver, and it's part of the Lincoln Cent series, which was first introduced way back in 1909. But today, we're going to focus on this 2017 D coin, and trust me, it's a hidden treasure for collectors. But why? What makes it so valuable? Well, stick with me as we break this down. Now you might be wondering, what's so special about the mint mark? Great question. For those who don't know, the mint mark is a small letter placed on coins to indicate which U.S. mint facility made them. In this case, the D mint mark means it was produced in Denver. Mint marks might seem like a tiny detail, but they play a huge role in a coin's value. In fact, certain mints produce coins that are much rarer than others, and this particular 2017 D penny is no exception. Alright, so what makes this 2017 D Lincoln penny so valuable? It's all about errors and rarities. Coin collectors are constantly on the lookout for error coins. These are coins that were mistakenly minted, which makes them unique and far more valuable than regular coins. In the case of the 2017 D penny, there are several known errors that can drive the price up, including die cracks, doubled dies, and off-center strikes. But there's a specific error type in this series that has been making waves: the D mint mark variety. The error leads to coins being minted with unusually distinct features, making them much rarer than the standard production run. Now, the most exciting part: the current market value of the 2017 D Abraham Lincoln penny. Depending on the condition of your coin, this penny can range in value, but there have been some rare sales of this coin reaching up to $1.5 million. That's right, $1.5 million. But what makes it worth this much? The rarity of the error is what drives the price sky high. Coins with these unique characteristics are highly sought after by serious collectors and investors who are willing to pay top dollar for them. So, if you happen to have one of these, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Alright, now let's get down to how you can identify whether your coin is one of these high-value pieces. First, you need to examine the mint mark closely. The D should be visible on the coin just below the date. However, in some of the rare error varieties, the mint mark might be misplaced or even blurry. Next, look for any errors like die cracks or unusual features. A double die error might show up as a faint doubling of the lettering or the date on your penny. Some collectors also look for off-center strikes, where the image is not properly aligned. If you find any of these things, you might just have a valuable error coin on your hands. Now, if you find out that you have one of these rare 2017 D pennies, the next question is, where can you sell it, and how much could you actually get? If your penny has a significant error and is in good condition, you can sell it through auction houses, online marketplaces like eBay, or even reach out to coin dealers. But remember, always get an expert appraisal before selling. If your coin is one of the truly rare ones, you might just get millions for it, so don't let anyone lowball you. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you learned a lot about the 2017 D. Abraham Lincoln penny, and how you might have a coin worth $1.5 million sitting in your collection. If you think you might have one of these rare error coins, make sure to take it to a professional for a proper evaluation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more tips and info on valuable coins.